Just checking you all out. Wow, very, very wonderful. Thank you. And your talk as well. Everything she was saying, there was like another talk on top of it that I was going, oh. So the light of certainty, I just want to know right out of the gate, with show of hands, because we don't do audience participation, just in case. Bob, no. So here, so how many of you think that there is something in your life that you can be 100% certain about and can prove it? Good. Yeah, I had to really soul search for that this week. And as we're continuing to heal with our beautiful Miss Kitty, and if you're here for the first time, we lost her last week. And we're blessing Quanta, who's been having a lot of stayovers, little sleepovers, not to replace Miss Kitty, but to help us heal. And that's how powerful the animal kingdom is. And it's just incredible to experience that energy from the animal world as well, which I'm finding out it's really not even an animal world. They're pretty extraterrestrial, if you ask me. But that's a whole nother point. So I had to say, what do you actually believe is certain? Well, the challenge that I had with it is that everything is temporal. So it's very hard for me to grab a hold of absolute certainty because it's temporal, it's always changing. But then I went deeper with that and I said, well, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, Patrick? I like to talk to myself like that. I suggest it. It's really fun. I said, what are you absolutely sure of? I said, that we never die. And I said, really? And so what's that all about? What do you mean we never die? And I thought, it's because we may change, but what the question I asked myself that gave me proof is, and I want you to answer it for yourself too, do you ever remember not being alive? It's an interesting question, isn't it? That's what it's like living inside of my mind. But I thought to myself, I can't remember. I remember the no beginning and no end. I could always get the no end, but the no beginning always kind of like, wow, because I never remember not being alive. I remember being in the womb, and I remember everything that was going on there, not by detail, but by feeling, which shows you we start out that way. I knew all of the chaos that was going on. And I thought to myself, okay, certainty. Well, what I am certain about is that I always have a choice. Now, I will be honest with you that I have not always chosen in my best interest. But I have been taking, or was it my best interest? It's incredible stuff. You know, I remember hearing that ignorance is bliss. You know, there's a point to that. There is something about not thinking so deeply sometimes when you're exploring self. So I kept on saying, well, what else? And I'll tell you what else I believe in right here. And as I started to do my inventory, I said, what do you believe in? And what do you still believe in that's not valid anymore? Oh my God. The list is long. The things that we just thought we believed in because we believed in it for so long. And that goes with self-worth, that goes with everything, until I finally said, I was in the middle, I do it all the time, I'm in the middle of a conversation and I'll say something and I can hear that little alarm go off that says, oh, Patrick, you don't believe that anymore. You're just used to saying it. And that's advancement for me. That's evolution for me. Then when you can actually just sit there. But here's the thing that I believe in. I believe in now. I believe when I stay present like I am right here and right now, that life makes a lot more sense to me than it did when I was so out there. And so is there anything certain? Is there certain? I also believe, because you asked, I believe how valid and how miraculous uncertainty is. Uncertainty is what moves me. So uncertainty is me wanting more. It's going, wow, I believed that, but that wasn't really certain. So now with all my uncertainty is birthed what? Curiosity. And all of the unseen and everything that's going on. Rita had mentioned it. It was so wonderful and horrible to experience the quantum field firsthand. When we walked out and there was a scene that had taken place, but I knew I was not a part of it. I've got God bumps. I wasn't a part of it. And then I stepped into it. It was kind of like that, remember the show a long time ago, Quantum Leaping? Except I just went there and I went, oh my God, I just split realities. I just collapsed. And then you take that even further in the quantum field, which is so wonderful, that we get to decide what we collapse on, what we're observing, and what we decide to collapse. And if you don't like something that's out there, let's not worry about changing them because it's exhausting. Just uncollapse and collapse somewhere else in your consciousness. We're never going to get past it, that there is a consciousness. And what that does for me is it's going to be a hard one to adjust to, but I am not a victim, ever. It either is, and this is me, I'm using me a lot, it either is or it isn't. It doesn't get to be, I don't get to be victimized when it's convenient because my emotions are so hurt. I said it the other day. I drive past that beautiful house and know this house where this dog lived, still lives, and I have to forgive it every single time I go by. And I'll tell you why, and you've heard it before. I have to forgive it because every time I don't forgive, I relive Miss Kitty. The pain. So once again, we're back to love. Is that a Pollyanna attitude? You're damn right it is. Miss Kitty, somebody that's gone, or whoever has gone out of our life, A, they're not gone, and second of all, forgiveness is our freedom. Forgiveness allows us. Forgive us for when I've gotten sick before and I was all like, shame-based. No. It's not about forgive because I did something wrong. It's forgiving to be free. What could you pop me? I have things that are so unforgiving that they're not even worth mentioning. I remember what they said. Yeah, over and over and over again. It's like I could open up an amusement park with as much looping as I do at times. And I say me, not because I'm just like everybody else. Well, we are. But the difference between what this teaching does for me is it makes me accountable for the things that I am creating in my life. And when you don't create something that absolutely is on your team, then you just love it and you say to yourself, if you choose, I am so powerful. I screwed that up. Yeah. That's how powerful I am. And so if I can screw it up, I can unscrew it as well. And does it take a lot of prepping to be like this? Yeah. But what I've learned this week is that we are not only about choice, but I love this quote. The light has never abandoned us. You ever feel abandoned? I have. That's when I wasn't taking care of myself. You know what I found out the other day? I said, well, that doesn't really fulfill me. That doesn't fulfill me. Well, let's collapse on something that does. That's my new word, by the way. So if you wonder what's going on in your life, I don't know, I just collapsed over there. I remember when collapsed was a whole different thing in my life, in my younger days, my party days. Oh, come on, nobody's ever been there? Jesus. You all look at me like, what's he talking about? Collapsing? So it says, the light has never abandoned us. We only forget where the switch is. The light is always with us. We are the light. If you take us and then I disappear if you take me all the way down, which I collapsed a little bit of my weight, just that I let that collapse too, right? Because, oh no, don't even think about it. So when I get this idea, this thing about faith, my big question to leave us with today and to ponder is, I like this idea of pray. Do you pray with certainty? Or do you pray with uncertainty? Or do you pray like this? Like, I hope so. When I do a spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of prayer, I better damn well be certain, or I shouldn't be opening my mouth on your behalf. Because I'm going to tell you something. I believe in each and every one of us here. And there's nothing that we cannot have and be and do if we'll just give up that one lovely little thing that's not easy, and that the universe is on our side and I'm not a victim. Victim, everything in my life has a payoff. And I certainly don't like that idea. So it's this holiday season, so I just wanted to bring you up. But everything has a payoff. Even my non-forgiving has a payoff. Ooh, sometimes it just feels really good until you're alone with yourself. But here's the thing. We have an opportunity always to choose again. And for those who want to give me a jingle about this, no, I am not saying ignore your feelings. But I am saying they're yours. And I don't have a right to take any of my feelings and project them upon you in anything that's not from a positive place. Nobody in this place does that, but that isn't the point. The point is, I know who I am. There's an I am that is so powerful. I am. How many people in this room are going through the best time of their life? I know, I like that one too. How many people believe in the certainty that life can always deliver a better condition than we're in? Oh, look at this. The whole damn room is all empty. Yeah, and that's the power of belief. That's the power of choice. And does it mean that you will not feel pain? Will you not feel hurt? It won't be difficult? You won't be stomping your feet up and down? No, it doesn't. So whenever anything goes on in your life, just remember, I am praying with certainty. And if that doesn't work, call Jeremy and Amy and allow them to have your back and to play that very special song.
That's right. I Am Light. This one's by India.
Did you like that?
I love that. That was a great segue, Patrick.